Hello everybody, back here again for another little, I guess, shop update or whatever you want to call it. I'm making another sign here, just freehanding out, and basically this is going to be set up for a buddy of mine who's semi-training, hasn't fully thrown his hat in the ring, but I think he's pretty close to doing it. For the Ironman, his goal is to get there in the next few years. So I went ahead, this is just a, basically a cedar dog-eared plank for a fence that I've dog-eared the other end to kind of match. I went ahead and routed out the Kona, Hawaii on there, kind of like a little motivational deal. I spray painted the whole thing, and my goal now is to try and, I was going to sand this back off like I did my welcome sign. Did not like the way it turned out. So I grabbed a piece of scrap wood and ran it through my joiner, which I bought here a while back. Actually dislocated my shoulder immensely, screwed it up in the process of loading this thing in the truck. The guy that was helping me wasn't holding up his end. It kind of slipped and I tore myself up pretty good. I actually wasn't even able to drive home that day. I was pretty messed up in the whole process, but this is it. Has a little bit of rust on it and whatnot. It needs a good servicing. I don't know, I got a bad taste in my mouth after that incident. Never really wanted to mess with it. There's a couple little nicks in the blades. I have 3 new blades for it, but haven't bothered replacing them yet. My goal is to run that sign through upside down and to shave off just a little bit to get rid of all that paint. So don't know how well it's going to work. Like I said, I ran it through a small little 4-inch board, and I'll see how the 6-inch board holds up and how it does. So anyway, as soon as I get that finished out and run through, probably take a couple passes to knock it down. It's got a bit of a cove in it. I'll show you what the results are. Well, this is what the sign looks like after, I believe I got 4 or 5 passes on it so far. I didn't bother counting. It's turned out pretty good down here in the end. Must have been a flatter spot. There's quite a bit of coat left in this board. My biggest hope is that I can get all this shaved down and still have my definition up top here before I lose it all in the process of getting that smoothed out. So I guess don't know until I find out. I'll let you know with the final run. Well, I gotta say, took 3 more passes and this thing turned out awesome. I'm loving the way it turned out all the way through. It's got a real rustic look to it, nothing super smooth machine look, until I get up here to the K. And that K was not deep enough. Unfortunately, my router, you can see where the first bit was, but it must have picked itself up. So I'm going to have to go back in and actually route that back out and then figure out how I want to paint that without putting paint on the whole thing like I did last time to get that left over. So don't know what I'm going to do right here. I guess I'll clamp it down and throw the router on it and see what happens. I'll hopefully get a picture of it once it's finished and we'll go from there. Well, as you can clearly see here, it did not work. I tried to router out just a little bit and repaint, sand down, then I caught the middle of the K. This side must have really been coped out really bad. So I went ahead and rerouted. I set the bit slightly shallower than what it had normally been when I first done it. That way it kind of match up a little better with these. And then I'm going to go ahead and go out and repaint these real quick. And hopefully I'm going to not get much over here. And I'll be able just to take with my belt sander and sand this back off and treat this end only without having to run the whole thing through the planer. Overall, I'm really liking the way the planer's taking it off. I think what I'm going to have to do first next time is run it through the planer 4 or 5 times, get it truly flat to begin with, then hit it with the router, then run it back through once to clean it up. So anyway, I'll fill you in when I get finished.